They're very, when I say they, I mean leadership, is very open to always entertaining new ideas and listening to their people about processes, and they're not scared to hear maybe the good, the bad, and the ugly about the way things are or how things are going, because they're always looking for better ways to do things, and there's always room for improvement in processes and stuff like that, and they're always willing to hear and implement those things too. Hi, my name is Mike Odle, and I'm a listing specialist here at Matt Smith Real Estate Group. Before I joined the team here at Matt Smith Real Estate Group, I was in the Army for just under 24 years. I was a military police soldier. I joined the Army back in 1997, joined outside of Chicago, Illinois, where I grew up. And being as part of the Military Police Corps with our home of the regiment here at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, I was actually stationed here 3 separate times over the years. Back in 2005 was my first time getting stationed here. It was right after my first deployment to Iraq, and I came here and I was a drill sergeant back in 2005. Then I left and deployed again, and then I came back again as first sergeant. I left one more time and I came back for my final venture here at Fort Leonard Wood as a command sergeant major of a training battalion, where my career culminated. Throughout the almost 24 years, I was stationed throughout the continental United States and then overseas, of course, throughout Europe and Hawaii and Korea. So I got to move around the world and see much of it and drag my family across the planet too. So it was good though, but we're glad to be settled here in Missouri. So I joined the team here at Matt Smith Real Estate Group directly out of the Army about 6 months before I was going to set to retire from the Army. I started getting involved in what's called the Career Skills Program. It's the Army's version of like an internship, and it really just helps retiring or separating soldiers coming from the Army transition smoothly into a new career field. So anyways, I knew I wanted to try something different, something outside the gates of Fort Leonard Wood. I was interested in real estate, and my wife actually suggested that I check out Matt Smith Real Estate Group. She had heard about them online and stuff like that. So one day during my lunch break, I came over to the St. Robert office and I went in and I asked them if they supported the Army's Career Skills Program, and of course they do, and they continue to do so. I'm just one of a bunch of people that actually have come through that way. And so my last day in position there at the Army, I transitioned out and I reported over here the next day. And over the next 6+ months, I just did various duties, like I worked at reception and helped them out there, worked with the listing coordinators and helped them out there, and basically just learned the business, learned about real estate, learned about how Matt Smith Real Estate Group works and operates, and at the same time was taking my real estate classes online and taking my test for my license and stuff like that, and I'm still here today. The part of this job that I enjoy the most really is the flexibility in the scheduling. Initially, when I first came to the team, it was a necessity because actually my wife was going through some health things, and so she would have various appointments on a random Tuesday afternoon in Springfield or something like that. So I needed that flexibility to be able to take her to do so, because it was to a point to where she wasn't able to drive herself. Thankfully, she's good to go now and everything's great, but I really kind of got used to having that flexibility in my schedule. That way I can take care of things during the day if I need to. But on the flip side, then that also means that you have to be available sometimes to play catch up in the evenings or weekends, which I'm perfectly fine with. But I would have to say that the flexibility in the scheduling, as opposed to a 9 to 5, is something I really enjoy. Another aspect I like about working here and working in this industry in particular is because I still get to continue to work with and help soldiers and other military members, because a lot of soldiers and their families PCS in and out of here at Fort Leonard Wood, of course, and I have more than 2 decades of experience doing that myself, so I know exactly what they're going through, and I love being able to help them through that process, because as they are moving from one place to another, they have so many things on their plate and enough stressors already. So if I can help alleviate that in any way possible, I'm glad to be able to do that. In particular, and I could probably do that at other agencies too, but in particular what I like about here at Matt Smith Real Estate Group and why I'm still here after all this time is really the people itself. I like the other agents in here. I got a lot of friends through here. It really helps you go through the day, because it's not an easy, every job has its good and its ups and its downs and stuff like that, but it's really your coworkers and the people that you get to see every day that can either make or break it. Of course, we know Matt is very particular about who he brings into the fold. He has to make sure that they're a good culture fit, otherwise they can't even get through the door. So I'm appreciative of that, because we've got a lot of great people that work here that just help it make it that much better. Another good thing I like about being here at Matt Smith Real Estate Group is that they're very here, when I say they, I mean leadership, is very open to always entertaining new ideas and listening to their people about processes, and they're not scared to hear maybe the good, the bad, and the ugly about the way things are or how things are going, because they're always looking for better ways to do things, and there's always room for improvement in processes and stuff like that, and they're always willing to hear and implement those things too, which I really do appreciate, as opposed to some leadership out there that I've seen over the years where you just kind of do things the way they've always been done because that's just how you do it. They're not closed in a box like that. They're very flexible and always looking to help the business improve and also the lives of all their agents too. So I like that. So I have a few favorite memories. One of which in particular was I was doing an open house with one of our other agents here, Kristen, and we decided to have a little fun because you got to have some fun to help get through your day, right? And we were playing a little music during the open house when she was doing an introductory video of it, and she was filming herself coming through the house trying to get people and get word out there to get people to come out to our open house. But when she came around the corner, it showed me looking out the window and kind of dancing around and just acting silly and stuff like that. I will say though, we did receive 2 offers on that house before the open house was even completed. I'm not saying that it's because of my dancing, but I think that it had a lot to do with it. That was a fun time. Some other good memories. I have lots of memories of giving my my counterparts here a hard time. One in particular, I like to give Jeanette a hard time. That helps me get through the day. I also have a good memory. I like helping those who can't help themselves. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, I had a listing with an elderly lady, and she was just unable to really take care of herself anymore, and that's why she was selling her house. She was moving to go live with her sister, but her house was in dire need of attention. She was unable to give it the attention it needed, nor could she afford to pay a service to come in and take care of it. I felt really good about she went off and moved in with her sister, and I just took it upon myself, cleaned the house from top to bottom, inside and out, fumigated and everything because it had a little insect problem and stuff like that. Took care of it all myself, just took a weekend out of it basically and took care of it for her. And really, I just felt really good about being able to help somebody out in that way who really genuinely needed it. So outside of here, outside of work, what I personally like to do to relax and have fun, I enjoy being active and trying to stay in shape. Over the years though, or almost 24 years of being beat up by the Army though, so I have my physical limitations, of course. So I discovered Muay Thai a few years ago, really because I was looking for something to stay active with and keep moving. And a friend of mine suggested I go check out Jiu-Jitsu. And so I went to a local gym here to check out the Jiu-Jitsu, saw a Muay Thai class going on, and thought that actually looked like a little more fun. So I started doing that, and I've been doing that twice a week for the past few years now, ever since. I really enjoy that. Something else I also enjoy doing is I'm into motorcycles too. I like to ride with my motorcycle buddies and do different events and stuff like that. I really enjoy that as well. So those are probably the 2 big items outside of work and family that I spend a lot of time doing. So if you have any questions about real estate, or if you're looking to buy real estate or sell your current home, if you just have questions, just reach on out. We'd be glad to help walk you through that process. We know it can be pretty precarious, so we're the subject matter experts, and we like to help you out with that. Our motto is changing lives, and we'd certainly like to help you change yours for the better.